Hey everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Closing Report. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss, for analysis after February 1st, 2016. Here we're looking at the daily time frame of the ES, and we hit our target today. When we came down into this level here, 1804s, basically price reversed and bounced. I talked about that major tail event that we saw that day, and then I talked about any pullback into the CLVN here, 1846 and as low as 1830 was going to be a spot to defend as a bull for a shot at seeing a move into 1921, followed by a move into 1939. 1939 was hit today, 1921 was hit the previous session, and right there we've reached our target from these lows, pinpointing these lows as the near-term low for a shot higher. Obviously, we were watching this whole bit of congestion here, and we talked about any failure to hold this zone likely runs those stops, but instead bulls were able to defend, and you saw the squeeze late Friday, which led to the first big target at 1921, and now we've seen the continuation. So we have our key range that's now in effect here. This is our key range. It spans from 2075 high down to the 1804 quarter low. We have 1939 half as the key midpoint of the levels. We have 1871.75 as the lower inside 25, and 2007 quarter is the upper 25%. So this is going to be important here, here, and here. I would believe that if price can continue to hold above 1900 to 1903, pullbacks to that zone could offer an opportunity to squeeze further into 1972 with a shot at seeing 2007 here. You obviously have that 1981 half as a key CLVN right here, which was major support before, then when it offered. So that's going to be an area that's going to kind of be attracted like a magnet. So we're going to watch it closely. Any failure to hold above the current session's low here, which is let's test this low. Where is it at? Current session low price. Looking at a low at 1913s, 1912s. That right there. Any failure to hold above that zone, 1910, I would say suggests a return lower, and that could be a failed acceptance above this range, and that could lead to a major move lower. So we're going to watch this very, very closely. I would say pullbacks here want to be defended for a squeeze, and that's the next primary course of action. Failure to hold above 1910, especially 1900 in general, that would open up the doors to a big retest of 1846 and below. Now, let's take a look at crude oil here. Crude oil had a big session lower, and we've also seen an impulse range move occur now. The key range developing off this impulse move. We had a first trading session of the year, big sell-off into this low, and then that low was never retested again until we bounced into the midpoint of that range, which is 33.43. So right now we're kind of at the point where price has formed its key range. We have 33.43 as the key level. We've been watching 33.03 already, and all we saw today was price go auctioned lower all day long. Anytime you go auction below the previous session's low like that, and you just take this thing way offered, a retest back at that level is usually an area to defend ahead of the next push lower. So right now, I'd say that the key level to be watching here is going to be that 32.65. 32.65 was the previous session's low. That's the pre-market key level that we talked about this morning. So I mentioned that prices were holding below 32.65. That was the area to defend. Prices were defended there, and you saw a continuation lower. Now I would say that any return to 32.65 offers an opportunity to defend for a continuation into 30.14 to 30.50. Okay, let's take a look now at gold for a moment. Here's gold. We finally got our final key level that we were looking for. We were looking for 1123s and 1130s. After we got this bounce right here, we finally got it. So 1070 all the way to 1130. I mean, that's a big time move, 60 handles right there. Plus we had a move just ahead of that as well. So I would say right now that overall, this thing is playing out exactly as we'd expect. We also got a squeeze beyond that previous high and came back. We talked about a defense at 1110s in that general zone for a continuation. So we've seen this move materialize as well. And I would say that right now, prices are going bid at composite VPOC 1117.70. So that would suggest a continuation to the upside to find where that rejection point is. So I would say that further upside price discovery is likely to be seen into 1138, 1141 half, and 1146. All right, let's take a look at the NQ. Here's the NQ in a daily time frame. Very solid defense off the pullback this morning at this minor CLVN here at 42.26, which is the midpoint of the August range. Price went bid through the top of the range here, that downward trending channel. That went bid through that area Friday. We saw amazing rally throughout the session here where price closed on highs. So now a pullback here was defended. I was talking about a pullback into 4,200. We didn't quite see a push that low. So instead it was front run at 42.26, and we saw a continuation higher. You can see how these key levels are still marking the pivots on every significant turn. So this is very, very important that we keep these levels up for now. I would say that any pullback into 42.26 and still as low as 4,200 should still be considered a defense area for bulls looking for a squeeze into this HVN here, which is basically 4,400. So we're looking to continue to squeeze into 4,400. Obviously, any bounce into 43.40 cements the key range from this high around 4,300 and this low at around 39.75. So that would be the key range right there once this thing solidifies at the midpoint right here. And then that would give us our key levels around that zone. But for right now, short term, bulls are looking to defend for a squeeze into this zone. Failure to hold above 42.26 opens up a return back toward 4,100 for a key test. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the week and the new month of February. Good luck and trade well.